In AD 70, during Rome's 4-month siege of Jerusalem, Roman forces under the Emperor Titus overwhelmed the city's defenders and set fire to the Jewish temple. Resistance continues for another month, but eventually the entire city is taken and most of it burned. In 1797, English novelist Mary Shelley is born in London to journalist and philosopher William Godwin and Enlightenment thinker and women's rights advocate Mary Wollstonecraft, who tragically dies 10 days later of complications from childbirth. Shelley goes on to write the famous Gothic novel Frankenstein, creating an iconic character that later appears in numerous books, plays, films, television shows, video games, artworks, and other media. In 1880, Diablo, chief of the Sibique Apache, is killed in battle by a rival band of Apaches in Arizona. 6 months later, members of Diablo's band avenge his death by killing White Mountain Apache leader Petone. In 1916, famed British explorer Ernest Shackleton rescues his 22 men who were stranded for months on Elephant Island, a remote island between Antarctica and the southern tip of South America. The men survived by making a shelter out of their lifeboats and eating seals and penguins. In 1963, a 24-hour-a-day hotline between the U.S. and the Soviet Union is established following the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, which nearly triggered a nuclear war and motivated the two Cold War foes to establish the communication system. Despite its portrayal as such in popular culture, the system does not use red phones and is not even a telephone system, but rather special teletype machines. In 1996, a controversial expedition to raise a 21-ton section of the British ocean liner Titanic fails when the nylon straps break 70 yards from the surface, causing the chunk of steel to drop over 2 miles back to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Titanic sank after striking an iceberg on her maiden voyage in 1912 and was discovered in 1985. In 2021, the last U.S. soldiers withdraw from Afghanistan, ending the 20-year mission 1 day ahead of the August 31st deadline set by U.S. President Joe Biden. An estimated 100 to 200 Americans who want to leave remain in Afghanistan as the last U.S. soldiers leave the country.